makes such a good movie. It hits in all the right places. Like, it's really sad, but it is so fun. Like, I love this book and this movie.
Translating a book to a movie is a really difficult thing. You know, you love from the book sometimes doesn't translate, but they did it in such an incredible way.
Not every great book can be adapted, but I think that the amount of story with the amount of emotional character exploration made this a pretty obvious book that needed adaptation.
All right, we are rolling.
I am really good friends with Anna Todd, and she started her production company, Frayed Pages. She approached me about wanting to turn this one into a film, and a few years later, here we are.
It's gonna take your whole hand off.
I know.
I mean, I didn't really know anything about Colleen Hoover. I'd never read anything she wrote until they sent me the script for Regretting You. I read that, and then I read the book.
All right, so again,
like
pictures up.
Let's do it again.
Tim's good with that.
What captured me and drew me, it was certainly the personal and emotional problems that mother and daughter go through over the course of the movie and how they come out in the other end stronger and in a better place in their lives, even though the terrible things happen.
It's that time.
Oh my gosh, of course it is.
I didn't know that this was a book until after I was already becoming a part of it, and they like randomly mentioned it during one of our Zooms, and I was like, wait, who was gonna tell me? After the fact, of course, I read it. The dialogue in the book felt like really fun and natural. Like, it doesn't feel like somebody older writing a teenager's dialogue. It just feels like they're talking.
Remark.
Oh, shit. Miller and Shelby broke up last night. Shelby thought Miller cheated on her with you.
I just gave him a ride home.
There are all different types of rides, Clara.
Stop it.
Her writing is so real. It's messy, and she always finds the humor also in the tragedy of things. So her voice really resonates with me.
The first time I read Colleen Hoover's book, I felt so struck by her skill at being able to put the reader in the shoes of whoever we are with at any given moment in the book. And I think that's something that's like a superpower of Colleen Hoover's. She's a keen observer of humanity, and she is able to make the parts of us that are confusing and unflattering and kind of mysterious to us very clear and kind of relatable on the page.
It's easy to fall in love with these characters who are going through such heavy things and being so vulnerable.
I just want to leave.
It just feels so real, especially with these characters and the way it's written. It feels like real people. You got them. And I just want to do Miller the best justice I can. Theater 4.
I want all of the emotions when I'm reading a book. I want the angst, I want the comedy, I want the heartbreak. It's just sometimes hard to pull that off on film. It's easier to do in a book because you have more real estate to do all of those different emotions.
As part of the team of people who's responsible for bringing it to life, it's immediately intimidating because with any book adaptation, you know that you are breathing life into something that exists so personally for people up to this point. They have their own Morgan in their mind's eye. They have their own Grant House. They have their own, Clara. All of these characters they've already cast either with like their own generated images or people they've dream cast for the movie in Reddit forums or whatever. And so it is equal parts intimidating and also really exciting to try to hit a mark that I, as a book reader, would have wanted this movie's adaptation team to hit.
Just smile and act natural.
Why do I always get roped into this?
The things we do for love. Of pizza.
I hate falling in love with a book and then you see the movie and it's nothing like the book. So my feeling is I really hug the book as tightly as possible. We obviously had to trim things because it's a long book, but even if we couldn't tackle in as much depth as it was in the book, we made sure it was peppered in the movie.
I'm such a nerd whenever it comes to like book adaptations where I'm like, whenever I watch them, I'm always like, oh my God, like, oh, this wasn't in there or this wasn't in there. And so whenever I first read it and then I read the book and then I was doing my little cross-referencing, I was like, you know what? I feel like we did good. There's like some bits that I loved that we couldn't fit into the film, but it's like, then again, it's a movie, so you can only fit what you can. And I feel like we really got a lot of my favorite parts of the book in there.
A toast. Because I got accepted into UNCSA's drama program.
What? Yay! Cheers to me.
This movie is dealing with very heavy themes. There's a lot of very dramatic twists and turns. And so to give the audience permission to laugh is very important, just to kind of release the air for a second.
Lexi, I think you should head home right about now.
Staying over, remember? We've all got to ride this shit out together.
Cut.
They are in among the worst, most devastating circumstances you can find yourself in life. Imagining going through that, and anytime I've gone through anything hard, levity and humor are the companions to the tragedy and to the misery.
Clara Grant! Oh my God. Get in the car, I've been calling you.
So having the opportunity to have the valve turned down in the tonal world of the movie every once in a while is so nice.
Please pretend this isn't
Is
happening.
this better?
Yes!
Get in the car.
And to be able to play the parts of human nature that are ridiculous in the face of big human emotions is really nice.
Hey, Mark.
All of us here are doing our best to encapsulate the characters from the book, but also I think that it's great because you can also watch this not having read the book and totally be fine and have this whole story and have it be like a surprise and such a fun experience.
There's so many things contained within this movie. That's part of what makes it so fun to make. It's just been an absolute delight.
I hope this movie becomes one of the movies within this genre that people continue to watch forever.
Seeing the book come to life in a way that I hoped it would come to life. I fell in love with the characters all over again while watching the movie. They all did such a good job. Like, I was so captivated by how they took these characters from the page onto screen and became them. I was like, oh, they know what they're doing, they did it well, they respected the source material. I just think that readers are going to be really pleased.
How did we both end up with our exact opposites?
Morgan and Jonah are wired very similarly. They're both thinking like opposites attract, you know, this is just the way we've found each other.
Jonah at the beginning of the movie starts in a place where he's always trying to do the right thing, even if that goes against kind of what his heart is telling him. He is clearly harboring deep emotional feelings for Morgan.
I want things to be okay with us.
Jonah. Morgan has been successful to this point at being able to ignore the version of life that would have played out that way. And she has been vigilant about supporting the choices that she made and just living in them and putting one foot in front of the other. And then again, the events of the movie just make it so that Morgan cannot not think about Jonah anymore. Now Morgan is seeing Jonah every day, and that it makes it a lot harder to ignore.
She's never really had to deal with it until these deaths happen. And I think it opens up for Morgan things that she has not done in her life because she's spent so much of her life devoted to her daughter and her husband. And Jonah, you know, he has regrets from back when he was in love with Morgan when they were in high school.
By the end of the film, he loosens up and he just kind of goes after what he wants, which is Morgan. I've wanted you since the day I met you.
She makes the choice that, you know what, like there's just this feeling in my gut that we should do this. This couple that's falling for each other, but have had things in the way for all these years, but have had this undeniable kind of invisible string between the two of them. Morgan's life became completely different from anything she predicted, and she's kind of watching her own daughter go through that exact moment.
Oh my God, Miller Adams is following you?
I gave him a ride today. We're, in a sense, what could have been for them if Morgan and Jonah would have had that as teenagers.
He's always had a thing for McKenna's character, Clara Grant, and it's kind of the conflict within him to really show his feelings and break up with Shelby and get with Clara or you know, be the bad guy. And there's not really a good way to handle that situation, but you kind of just have to follow where your heart tells you to go, which is told him to go with Clara.
If anything, Shelby was my backup plan to you.
I've had a thing for you for a very long time too. Him and Clara work so well together because she's going through so much emotionally. So I think that it's so nice to have that communication and that presence there that's so emotionally understanding. I think that that's such an important thing in a relationship.
What I think when I see the younger relationship is that these two people are very brave, and they're brave about expressing their feelings. They have this understanding somehow, even at that young age, that life is short, and they interpret that to mean that you should love boldly and be honest about your feelings. And even if you have to hurt someone, that hurt is so much more temporary if you're honest about it right away than if you try to cover it up for a lifetime.
How would I define the word regret?
I'm never drinking again. I think that it's like a decision that you wish you wouldn't have made.
When I think of the word regret, it has a lot of weight to it. If I ever regret something, it feels like a pit in my stomach.
Regret is lingering in the desire to have changed something that's happened in the past rather than an examination of how you can alter your present moment.
Looking back on your life and wishing you had done certain things differently, or that you had been a better person, or, you know, it's any possible thing you can imagine that you wish you had done differently.
My biggest regret is not telling you how I felt before Chris swooped in.
When you make choices that are driven by things other than honest, authentic, emotional truth, you end up having to deal with consequences that are kind of scattershot.
It's a dilemma I feel like a lot of people face in real life, and you kind of just have to follow where your heart tells you to go.
Follow your gut. Like, your gut really never leads you astray. It's anytime I go against my gut that it's like, oh, I so regret doing that.
I very much try not to regret anything.
Right.
I think I don't really believe in regrets. Yeah, we make mistakes, but I believe that even our mistakes lead us to something good eventually.
Regret is something that's pretty damaging, I think, to like your ability to live your life.
It's okay to wish that you wouldn't have done something, but I think at the end of the day, that is like a sign that you're growing.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
We don't all behave rationally and correctly when things, go south. We, in fact, often behave bizarrely and errantly, and we make decisions and say things that we regret and we have to take back later.
But you learn from those moments, You can learn from them. You're like, I'm not going to do that again.
I think there's a healthy balance to be had there.
I feel very lucky that I don't think it's a default of my own. Like, I think that I've got a lot of problems. But, like, regretting choices is not one of them. Like, I think I'm more of, like, a future warrior than a past warrior.
I'm worried we got it wrong.
People always have ideas in their mind about, like, oh, if I could go back in time and change this or that. But if you're a parent, you don't get to think about things in quite the same way as other people.
I went from raising Aunt Jenny to being pregnant with you and then raising you, and I never had time in there for my passions. When you have a child and you love that child so much, even if you wish parts of your life turned out differently than they did, if you're a believer in the butterfly effect, you're like, well, I can't do even one little thing differently because then you wouldn't be you and you wouldn't be here, and I love you, so I should just do it all over again.
I would go back and do it all the exact same way if I could.
This is a lot of what Morgan's torn about in the movie, is just like decisions that she had made that could have been made differently back then that would have saved her heartache later, but like, she wouldn't have the things that were the most important in her life.
Clara, there is no life that I want that you are not in.
So it's like, if you're a parent, your rules of imaginary time travel are always tethered to when your kids were conceived,
I think that regret is a real killer. I think that, like, if you are living in the past in that way, I think that there's no way of, like, having a future or a present.
That's just how I try to live my life. I don't like to look back on things and think, oh, how could that have gone differently?
We did get it wrong. It should have been us.
It's like you can't think that way because life is too short to think that way. So it's like I'm thankful for all of the experiences that made me who I am.
Probably should be a third word added to the title because it's about not having that regret.
What's going on?
Surprise, bitch!
Lexi.
Sorry.
Hello.
Come
Where, Mom?
Nothing.
Oh, I don't
Okay, just be careful.
What is a promposal? A promposal is an elevated way to invite somebody to prom. It's more of a production than just asking someone.
Ta-da. What is this?
Throughout this story, Miller takes a lot of videos and documents his little adventures he has with Clara and makes this short film to help boost his film school application for college, and he uses it as promposal. I know you said no lame promposals, but I kind of already started this before you said that, so I hope you like it. Clara, I think you should go to prom with me.
So we didn't have promposals when I went to prom, but they're really big online, and they were really big on, TikTok at the time. I liked that Clara didn't want a promposal, but at the same time, Miller had been secretly working on a promposal the whole time.
I love the promposal scene. I mean, it's such a good promposal. Oh, I wish Miller was real. I don't even know what I'd do if a guy had been taking all these romantic little videos and oh, you go to prom with me? Ugh.
You just drove by, and I know you saw me standing here. All I think about is you.
You're driving past me right now, and if you turn around, I'm gonna tell you that I love you. I'm obsessed with that. It's so romantic.
I've never been to prom, so the only promposal thing I've ever done is for this character. Getting to do that and was a lot of fun and sort of like a little dream come true. Getting to fake prompose to somebody.
I've only ever been the promposer and not the promposee. I am a promposer.
I went to a couple proms. I never got anything as intricate as this. I got a little sign, will you go to prom with me?
Oh my God, I killed it.
Bobby, did you go to prom?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that there wasn't one girl in high school that didn't want Scott's number.
During a not free period, I got this bouquet and I covered it in sheet music, and then I cut cut stars out of the sheet music and taped a trail of stars from the person's classroom to another classroom.
A promposal. Ooh. For my prom? Okay, we got pigeons, we got doves, we got all kinds of flowers from the sky, biplane. We got all the, yeah, exactly, an explosion.
I guess you're trying to love bomb them just a little bit, enough to get them to say yes.
It was a picnic in the classroom with fairy lights all over. The whole room was purple, and I was blasting Norah Jones, and then I also painted a little wooden box that I got from Michael's, and then when you open it, it said prom.
You know what I'd want to do if I was gonna prompose to somebody is I'd want to recreate the 10 things I hate about you thing whenever he's running and doing the little dance. That'd be so good.
I would probably have some Diet Pepsi involved in some way. Mentos and Diet Pepsi and an explosion. I would go big.
Oh, they totally said yes, because I killed that.
Okay, what do you say, Clara Grant? Will you go to prom with me?
Of course I will. Yay! Oh my goodness.
Clara Grant!
Shit. My mom tracks everybody for safety.
Clara Wilma Grant! Don't look at me. Don't laugh at me. Stop doing everything. Oh, you're fucked.
Sorry.
No. Just no. Oh, do not. Get out of the car. Get in the car! You feel that? I know who you are. What?
No, thanks. I just don't think film school's in the cards for me.
You never know. Keep it, just in case.
girlfriend actually break up with you because I gave you a ride?
No, she broke up with me because I lied to her about it.
Okay, well, do you want me to like text her or something? and
No,
explain that
no,
nothing
that'll just make things worse. I'll see you later.
Hey, this never happened. You're at school, I'm at work.
Well,
We're not full of popcorn.
you're sneaky, Dad. I approve.
What if she was like, my passion is like, Dad, sports. Okay.
He used to bring me here. On getaways. Me up with since you stole my best friend?
I might. What's your type?
Tall, dark, handsome, preferably with a tat and a great story behind it. I'll see you later. You hurt her, I kill you.
I'm so sorry about her.
That's okay. Just gonna bet you I like it.
Whatever you're about to say, don't. Hey.
Hey, you okay?
I don't know. Are we okay?
Happy birthday! But you forgot to pick me up, bitch, so you really don't deserve this.
I'm so sorry. My mom and I got into it, and I was like pissed on the way here, and I forgot.
I'm literally messing with you. You're fine. Let's just say that I did not have a problem getting a ride.
That's so good. That's so good. That's great.
I know, he's not tall, dark, or tatted, but he's really smart.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Well, happy birthday. I love you. And I'm gonna see you in class, okay?
Okay, love you.
Hi.